What's up, everybody? I know this is very atypical of time I normally hop on and do my Cliff Notes. But I'm sitting in the parking lot about to get my my eat on, man, and I guess the passion just hit me out of nowhere to talk about the Sha'Carri Richardson thing, man. And so if y'all want to tune in, you know, I'll spend a little time to talk about it. I went back and forth on this a lot of if I should even do this. Because I'm gonna be real with you. I just don't care. I don't care enough to talk about. I never was a track and field guy, so I don't give a shit about track and field. So I mean, I got my opinions on the whole optics of it, but I never had a passion to really just ingratiate myself into conversations I've seen all over my timeline the last few days. But I'll go ahead and approach the elephant in the room. What up, Stokes? I'll go ahead and address it. I'm gonna lead in with this, man. Those of you who don't typically follow sports should stay the fuck out of sports. Because here's the deal. Shikari Richardson is Richards, or whatever the fuck her last name is. Obviously, she's a great talent. Obviously, she's a very polarizing figure. Obviously, she is a possible, how can you put it? A asset to push forward a certain narrative going forward. I understand she's a lesbian woman. She wears the hair. So to me, that is a tremendous vessel to push forward, like liberalism, womanism, feminism, what have you. That's what I see just off rip. That's what she represents. And that's why you see a lot of people, in my opinion, who are aligned with those type of ideologies, who are not even familiar with sports like that, they gravitate so hard to her. So let me just say that first. That's my first assessment about what she represents as an athlete. Because as you know, and if you don't know, you need to know, a lot of these athletes that become prominent, they're pushing something else. They're not just playing their sport. It's something else attached to their brand, to their influence, as it were. So that's what I see just off rip with the optics that is the Sha'Carri Richardson. Was it Richards or Richardson, man? I'm whatever. The experience. So as I see people comment back and forth, I see a lot of emotionality that's going on. I see a lot of people like, it's two sides of the coin to everybody's credit. It's those that are kind of waiting on her to kind of fall on her face a little bit so they can kind of jump on her ass, as it were, and kind of basically, you know, because how people intrinsically, like when you don't agree with them, we tend to like you to be humble in some fashion. But we want you to kind of come back to earth, as it were, when you are going so far a certain direction. Now, I try to check myself when I'm like that, because reality is the world's gonna move how the world moves, rather if I like the shit or not. You understand me? And I think a lot of adults can benefit from understanding that and stop wishing bad on somebody just because you don't like what they're saying, i.e. Kevin Samuels, i.e. Tasha K, i.e. Kevin Durant. It's different. It's a lot of Cardi B or whatever, or Megan Thee Stallion. Just because you don't like them doesn't mean you have to wish for them something negative to happen for them to get their lesson, as it were. Like, to me, that shit is corny, especially from 40-year-old or approaching 40-year-old people. Let me start with that. Now, it also is corny to me when you are such a fan of something that you don't understand nuance. You don't understand the full optics. Meaning, you'll dig yourself into the ground all the way and be a fan and ignore other things that aren't so great about the person that you admire. So the people who are pro Sha'Carri, you see, basically, she's basically an outer vessel for your inner feelings. Meaning, she is that bridge for that liberal spectrum, because she goes against the grain, because she curses when she talks. That is basically an extension of yourself. So you tend to champion her more than she probably deserves. Like when all you clowns was talking about when she couldn't race off a decision she made to smoke marijuana, you were saying everybody need to, not everybody, but for those who say this clown ass shit that no black people should run in the Olympics. It just shows how short-minded you are. Because your emotionality takes over your logic. And so these people who've been training for 5 years, because it wasn't just 4, because, you know, they took a year off for Tokyo with coronavirus and what have you. In your mind, these people who've trained as hard as they have need to take the whole Olympics off because you feel this one Olympian was wrong. That is how a child thinks. So your emotionality takes you out of logic. Logically speaking, me as an Olympian, like, that's fucked up what they did to Shikari, or like, damn, that's a fucked up situation. But hey, I've trained 4 plus 5 years for this shit. This is my time to showcase what I'm doing. What she got going is what she got going. And that's how adults think. That's how adults think. Y'all get so damn wrapped up in your own personal axe to grind with people that you're not looking at shit objectively. You're looking at it from a projection standpoint. And that's how you piss the other side off. And that's why, again, I led in with people tend to want bad things to happen to people they don't agree with ideologically. So that's why you saw the pushback when she got 9th place. When she, like Martin said, when she watched the doves. When she watched the doves. That's what you saw. And it's not necessarily that people don't like Sha'Carri as a person. I think a lot of people, African Americans in general, can understand the layers to her. I think we can understand that. But the problem is you're letting it get away from you, and you're getting crazy, and you're making her a caricature. So when you're a caricature, people tend to throw ad hominems a lot quicker because why? They don't feel the personal aspect with it. And I think that's what's going on with Sha'Carri, the brand. I think she's turned into a caricature of a person. And my whole thing is, I didn't really criticize her a lot. I didn't. Y'all see my post? I didn't really say that. I laughed at a few jokes, but I didn't take no pleasure in her getting dusted and her watching the doves. I didn't take no pleasure in that. But at the same time, as a former athlete, I respect athletics at its highest level. It's like you can't talk your way into no damn prominence. You got to go out there and do it. And she didn't go do it. And it's funny, you same Negroes, mostly, when the other Jamaican sisters did their thing and you know, left in the dust. Y'all like to play this global black thing when it's convenient. Because we think, you know, we all, in a, you know, what you call it, PanAfricanism, where we all feel connected and what have you. Y'all like to play this shit when it benefits you. But in a sense, we're like 3 prominent sisters from Jamaica did their thing. You know, then you get mad that one of them shaded Sha'Carri. Listen, they are competitors. No competitors at a high level. Just everybody, hey, everybody get along, especially an individual sport like running the 100-meter dash. So, of course, she gonna talk her shit after she won. I forget the sister name. But it's funny, y'all were like kind of going to her neck. Like, it's silly. It just shows how lost y'all are in the sauce, man. Let me get to a couple of these comments. I appreciate y'all, man. Janique says, emotional thing and version live. There you go. Marcella says, facts. There you go. Marcella also said, I think a lot of folks relate because we all have Sha'Carri somewhere in our family, but we really struggle with accountability in our community. Yes, I would go as far as that accountability is damn near non-existent in our community. It's damn near non-existent. Meaning nobody want to be told shit when you're in the wrong. You don't want to be told shit. That's who we are. And I don't give a shit who don't like it. Because I'm more of the line of thinking that if we just diagnose shit properly and move forward instead of making excuses for ourselves, we'll move a lot faster, a lot quicker, in a lot more of a proficient manner. Instead of just, well, racism, well, the Olympic Committee could have did this. So fucking what? So fucking what? You can say that about your job when you miss a day and you get fired. You can say that about anything that presides over something that you don't like the results. But can you counteract the results? No, you cannot. So you have to understand, in this world, there are things you got to adhere to, whether you like the shit or not, whether it's fair or not. You have to comply with the shit. And she chose not to, and she got the results she got. I'm sorry. I was pissed she wasn't prepared. Well, she pissed she wasn't prepared too. That's a reality of life. And if anything, if she's as great as she's shown to be, she bounces back from this. This is what you call character building moments. So you remember when you got that shitty run and you were dead last because you weren't prepared. And next time you go dust everybody else's ass up. And it just leads to the whole story of a human being. Nobody goes undefeated. So that's what I'm saying about you individuals who don't know sports. Y'all come in here and invade this space of sports patrons, and y'all project y'all's non-sports asses in here, and when you don't understand what competition is. Competition is blood sport, man. It is mano y mano for the most part, and it is taking yourself to the highest elevated level of yourself, and it's hard. To prepare is hard, right? So again, when the Jamaican sister was, kind of shading Sha'Carri, y'all lost your mind because y'all don't understand competition. When people start critiquing Sha'Carri for getting her ass, put it in the dust. Y'all don't get it, but that's how competition is. My boy Marquell made a perfect example when LeBron lost that second championship to the Dallas Mavericks, and they lost that 2-1 lead or some shit, and he had like an embarrassing performance. People was on LeBron James' ass. It didn't matter LeBron was doing these great stuff in the community and all that shit. Fuck all that. You supposed to be the best, and you got your ass dusted up by a team that's not as good as your team. That's what sports is. Sorry. You can't project your soft shit on sports and get mad when people start critiquing sports in the realm of sports. I'm sorry. Now, she did something off the field or whatever. I can understand that. But you got your ass dusted up on the track? No, ma'am. No, sir. Get that bullshit on somewhere. You know how sports goes. All right, let's see. Hope that she gets the guidance needed. Oh, yeah, I hope so, too. Because I don't want to see no sister, no brother just, decline, and you just, you never become who you were again. I don't think anything productive comes out of that. So yeah, I do hope that. Do the crate challenge on live, man. Y'all can keep that shit. Y'all N-words. Yeah, y'all can keep that shit. I ain't boy. But y'all silly, man. Let's see. Another comment. Exactly. It's a sports things to most. They just relate to her ratchet. Exactly. And that kind of what I led into. Sha'Carri is a projection to a lot of internal things that some people have, i.e. most liberal-minded women. Sha'Carri is basically their how can I put it? She's their mascot, as it were. So what people generally do is when their mascot or their projection of themselves gets threatened, they take it personally because it is an extension of themselves. So that's why you see, and it's funny, I see a lot of males do this shit too, which is, it befuddles me. How you do? No mind. But y'all some funny niggas, man. Some of y'all some funny ass people out in this internet space. The way y'all project is it's just funny to observe, man. It really is. It really is. I'll leave it at that. All right, Alex, the kids, Mary and Terry better than Heat Squad. Oh, no, sir. But they were a better cohesive team. Yes, they were. And we all knew that the Heatles was a thing. The Heatles was supposed to win not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. They ended up winning, what, 2 championships? A little bit under-delivering, buddies. A little bit under-delivering, buddies. Just saying. You can't talk shit, get your ass dusted, and then don't be humble, bro. Exactly. That's sports. That's sports, man. That's sports. If you talk shit and you don't perform, people gonna be on your ass. Sports is no safe place where you can just talk shit, but don't say it to me. No, you gotta go out there and perform. If you popping off, you gotta go perform. Sorry, no shortcuts to that. I saw another question. My thoughts on the interview. Now the first one, I'm not a big fan of women going out there talking all crazy like men do. But if you do it, whatever. I ain't the goddamn police of damn language. I just find it to be a little masculine. It ain't for me. Let me put it that way. I'm not a fan of it. But she did what she did. She said what she said. And then she went to the second interview and cleaned it up. Should the PR team talk to her? Because at the end of the day, she's a 21-year-old young woman. Now, some of y'all calling her a kid. She ain't no goddamn kid. At 21 years old, you can do everything this world allows you to do. You can do everything. Voting, war, smoking, drinking. You commit a crime, you're in jail for life. Come on now. So I don't do that little kid shit. But she's a young woman. So I expect a young woman to misstep a lot. Because why? Coming from, she's from like Oak Cliff in Dallas. I'm sure she didn't get a lot of guidance. I'm sure she needs to be polished a lot. So that doesn't really, that doesn't upset me. And I said this, when she did something else when she was talking shit on Twitter, like I expected our 21-year-old because you're not fully mature yet. You're given a lot of praise for what you are and what you can do, but you're still not polished. You still got a lot of life to live. All right, B-Pat says, I don't want to overthink this. They just wanted her to do well, and she didn't. She caved. She caved. And I saw on one of your posts, women coming and defending that shit, and what you find is women who didn't play sports like that. So, you know, again, she's a projection of their inner self. And that's just what it is. That's why Sha'Carri's going to have a profile she's going to have for a long time. She represents more than just a sport. She is an archetype that gets projected in mainstream media that a lot of women can, especially from single parent households, can identify with. They can identify with that. Let's see. Jerome says she's mentally ill. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a clinical psychologist, so I can't diagnose her unless it's just ragingly apparent, which I don't know enough to. I can't really diagnose or anything. I don't know. So I can't speak on that. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say, man. The Sha'Carri effect is hilarious. I guess it's just something you got to deal with non-athletic background people inject themselves into the athletic space. It gets goofy. I saw this with Tim Tebow when people were talking about Jesus was helping him win football games. I'm like, stop it. Jeremy Lin was playing good. Jesus was helping him. Stop it. If that's true, why is Tim Tebow struggling to get in the NFL now? When he got a shot, why didn't he get it playing for his former coach, Urban Meyer, for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Like, why did he get cut? Like, does Jesus, his sports influence, does he pick and choose which scenario he like and which one he don't? But anywho, I don't want to pick on my Christian people out there, but my point is, when you try to put your own projection shit on it and you're not taking sports for what sports is, which is sports, it gets goofy. And you'll start saying all kind of shit to justify lack of performance. Or when somebody performs, you will overstate it because you don't understand the full scope, nor do you respect it. The country of Jamaica's in the chat. Oh, yeah, man. So that's all I got, man. If y'all missed some of it, I think I was cooking to start off, so y'all can kind of see how I set the backdrop. And again, I won't go on a lot of these because I don't want to down the sister. I don't want her to have vitriol, but at the same time, you talk that shit and you didn't perform. That's sports one-on-one. I don't care what gender you are, what sport you play, your body type, your build, your ilk. If you start popping off and you don't perform, you're going to get this work. Sorry. I ain't make the rules up, goddammit. I didn't make the goddamn rules up, man. All I do is play by the rules. So, man, y'all be good. Happy Monday to you all.